United Congregation. We're just doing kind of a recap. We recapped the part one of the Way of the World series, talking about the fall in the garden. Part two, we're talking about the Genesis 6 experiment, the Genesis 6, as it's called by a lot of people, the Genesis 6 experiment. And we're just going to kind of talk about it related to life and, how we view the world today and different things. We know there's so much going on in the world right now. I always joke and say, I feel we only got about 20 more years for Jesus to come back. And when I talk to people, they be like, nah, we got more, less than that. But, so Genesis 6. And once again, I have brother, the leader, Captain America here, brother Captain Africa here.
Yeah.
Brother Aswad Muhammad here.
Yes.
And we have his beautiful, real Lady Jennifer here with us today. And behind the camera, we got my boy Amari. Say what's up to the people.
What's up, everybody?
All right. Sorry about the boy. He going through puberty right now. So his voice might be, voice changing, getting funky and everything. You know how it go, little hair up here and everything. You do like this. All right. So we talking about Genesis 6.
Can I say something?
Go ahead.
Because you had opened up with the we got 20 years. It's funny because I be telling because we live in Africa too, and I say, babe, I think we only got 7 years together.
Oh Lord. Yeah. Let's be thinking about that. Like, should I just get married and have children? Yes, get married and have children, please.
It's funny that you open up like that.
Yeah, so yeah. Genesis 6 is when the fallen angels saw the women. And they was like, woo.
Women to men.
Good Lord.
Women to men.
Oh yeah, you gotta put that in.
Sons of God are the women to men. Oh, let me let you. I apologize because I forget sometimes. Well, when he said I was, the leader and Captain America, I thought I could drive
Captain
the ship.
Africa.
I thought I could drive the ship. But it's your show, man.
No, you good.
It's your thing.
So we will touch on that because as we talk about the part two, see, we talk about the flood all the time, but Genesis 6 gets forgotten when we talk about that's the reason why the flood came. And but when we talk about Genesis 6, we can't forget about the flood. So all that's gonna play part going hand in hand. So Genesis 6, what we're talking about is the fallen angels mated with human, and first of all, I in the teaching got cleared up that it's not the sons of Cain mating with the good daughters of Seth. We talking about actual fallen angels, okay? I know in the church today, especially in the Western church, it's almost like we've almost taken the supernatural out of our faith, our religion. I heard some people call it we have cerebral Christianity, where we talk about the miracles, we read them in the Bible, but then we don't believe them, we don't apply them, we don't, we're shocked when we see stuff happening, and it's like, oh my gosh, but the fallen angels, they really saw human women. So first of all, I want to say that kissing cousins don't make giants. Number one. Matter of fact, closely related people having children causes defects actually, because they're already closely related. DNA is so similar. That's why the elite throughout history, the kings, the queens, the pharaohs, all of them, they kept it in the family, and that's why you start seeing certain characteristics, and you'll know who they're related to, because when the genetic, like with the Habsburgs, they had these long chins. And you could look at me like, oh, that's a Habsburg because of the. So we know that that's what happens when you don't create giants, you create defects. And that's kind of what happened with the fallen angels. They made it with the humans, and they had the first generation Nephilim, which is likened to the Titans of Greek and Roman mythology. So and what happened was they killed each other off in a massive civil war, which has been stylized as the Clash of the Titans. So they had the movies and all that stuff, the Clash of the Titans, and the Nephilim, they're still romanticized today today they're what we call, superheroes. They're matter of fact, the word hero is literally a word that was created to describe the Nephilim. The word hero comes from them. That's why they're called heroes or superheroes. And so, they had the superpowers, just like X-Men. X-Men are a perfect example of the Nephilim. They're corrupted DNA, because the word Nephal means to fall, meaning corrupted or corrupt DNA. And we know that today things we do affect our DNA. What we eat, what we drink, what we put in our bodies, what we put around our bodies, what we see, what we hear, all of that. Who we, have intimacy with, all of that affects us one way or another. And I tell people, the first part we talked about sin affects us, but the problem that happens with us is we don't, because we don't see the effects right away, we think it's not affecting us. And it's just like if like my son, if when he was born, if all we fed him was cake and candy and all of that, he may be 21, 22 years old, don't have any problems or anything. Which I know that probably wouldn't be true, child diabetes, all this stuff. But you may not see the effects of that until he's a little older, but sooner or later you're gonna see the effects of it. His teeth gonna be rotting, and his body will be messed up because he's not getting any vitamins, nutrients, things of that nature. So just because you're not seeing the effects of it right away doesn't mean there aren't effects taking place, especially in the spiritual realm. So we all face the consequences of our actions. And for the Nephilim, it was no different. They faced the consequences of their action. They were judged by God through Enoch. Enoch was used to judge the watchers. So some of the things that they did that made God so angry was they taught us stuff we weren't supposed to know. They taught us advanced mathematics. Maybe that's why we hate math so much. I don't know. Nobody likes math. Almost said something. I want to get canceled. They taught us, and I want your opinion on this, because one of the things. The spaceship. Oh Lordy. Higher understanding, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Keyword high. No, I'm just joking. I'm just joking. So one of the things they taught us was the beautifying of the eyelids, things of that nature, makeup. And we know that the Bible talks about men dressing as women, women dressing as men. So talk to, especially the women, about how they should be presenting themselves and things of that nature, especially if they're believers.
Oh wow, I believe we need, as a believer, we need to dress in how can I say it? Dress
Moderate.
Moderate, conservative. Not having all your
Goods
out and everything like that, because that's of the world. When you're a believer, your body, God's word says that your body, is a sacrifice and holy, and you got to present that unto God. You can't just be all in these short skirts with your butt all out and things like that. I'm sorry. And there's so many women that I see, like when they do programs, and they are, I guess, Christian. I mean, that's what they call themselves. They have their cleavage out and all this makeup on their face, and I'm like, why we got to do all that? Beauty. I know you got to see yourself. I believe we have to see ourselves the way God sees us, and we are already beautiful without makeup. I wear makeup every now and then, like if I'm gonna do something, but when you see me, I don't wear makeup, because when I look in the mirror, I see something beautiful. And that's the way we need to see ourselves. Beautiful. I was telling my husband one time, I woke up and I said, babe, when I looked in the mirror this morning, I just saw beauty. And that's without my makeup, without my lashes on, without my extension in my hair. I said, I saw beyond that. I saw beauty. I saw something beautiful staring back at me. And he was telling me that was just God revealing himself to me, to show me that I was beautiful, because he's in us. So I believe we need to just, dress. I asked him one time, I believe, Muslims, I believe we should be dressing like that, covering ourselves up. So some of these men, we won't make some of these men fall because of the way that we dress. Some of us put on tight skirts and tight jeans, and that's not how we're supposed to be representing ourselves as a woman of God. That's what I believe.
What you see when you see your wife, brother?
I see a reflection of the divine.
Okay.
Because women are mysterious. Their
There should be mystery there.
Yeah, and their beauty has always been a fascination to man.
Yeah.
And that's the way I see God.
Mm-hmm.
He's mysterious, he's fascinating. I can look out into the Milky Way and just like, wow.
Yeah.
Wow. When I see my wife, I'm like, wow. Look what you done poured into that vessel right there. Because here's the thing.
Get them brownie points, boy. Get them points.
Man.
Run up the scoreboard.
That's what I'm trying to tell you, man.
Run up the scoreboard.
See, this is what I've been trying to get my brothers to understand. The late, great Dr. Miles Monroe said that the man was told to be fruitful and multiply and to cultivate the land. The world has always been synonymous to a woman in scripture.
Mm-hmm.
Even the America, oh, how great she is. Look how she flourishes. So he went on to say that women, watch what man you let cultivate you.
Mm.
Is he pouring anything positive into you? Is he abusive? Is he encouraging?
Mm-hmm.
I remember my wife, when we first started Rapology, she's like, hey, this is Jennifer. I'm like, no. Lady Jennifer.
That's right.
Because you represent the king.
That's right.
The king, but you also represent the prince.
Mm.
You got to put some.
Talk about
You got to put something on
your
that.
chest, man. Come on.
But you have to know who you are in Christ
Mm-hmm.
to do those type things. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
See, anybody can give themselves a title as a leader. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But true leadership comes in how you pour into others.
Mm-hmm.
How you lead others, man? No, come on, man.
And the key to what he meant by modest was a woman know what she doing when she dressing the way she dressing.
Oh, yeah.
If you try to bring extra attention to yourself, that's what it's saying. There's nothing wrong with looking nice. There's nothing wrong with being beautiful. Some women are just naturally thicker or curvy or slim and whatever. Who you are is who you are. You're beautiful. But you know what you're doing when you're trying to bring extra attention to yourself. Especially at the wrong time, wrong place.
Yeah.
And we talk about for believers.
Yes.
Well, you know what you're doing.
And
You
not
know
only that,
exactly you
You
doing.
know what you're doing.
I'm gonna give you young schools some hurdles right quick. Y'all take this and run with it. When I was like 13, I turned out 13. I starched my pants down. When we start your pants.
Start your arches.
Yeah, but creased my pants, stood them up in the corner, man. Put all of this coat, when starched my shirt, the collar stiff. And so my sister was like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "What are you doing? I'm finna go see my little girlfriend." So she said, "Do you want her attention or you want to run her off?" I'm like, "Girl," but she told me, she said, "Look, man. When a woman leave her house and go through the trouble, putting on makeup and fingernails and just, she wants your attention. But you looking like you vibing for her attention. And that's wrong with me, man. I'm like, I need to turn this down a notch. So, young brothers, I say that to say this here. Know what you want, man. And take something off of it, man. Let the woman be a woman, man. A lot of you young brothers out there, man, I don't mean no offense, but it is what it is. A lot of y'all got it twisted, man. I see a lot of y'all, man. Y'all prettier than the women. You smell better than her. When I was coming up, we had one earring. We know that the brother, y'all got 2 earrings. I'm like, come on, man. Take some off. Take some off, man. Get this thing back right, man. It ain't too late. But you gotta know what you want, man. You gotta know who you are. And I don't mean no offense, but it is what it is.
It is what it is.
It is, man.
These I have a friend, shout out to Sam. She had an ex-boyfriend. She say that he would they would go out, and then when they would come back home, he would be like, nobody commented on my outfit. Everybody was hating. They didn't say that I look nice. It's like, really? Like, that's just sassy. You know what I'm saying?
Sassy.
And look, man,
That's still sassy.
it's still sassy. And let me tell you something, man. Men don't get caught up in this talking about just the new world, this new wave. This is how we doing these days. No, man.
Nothing new under the sun.
Ain't nothing new under the sun. It's still okay to be masculine.
That's right.
Ain't nothing cute or bad, man, about being all feminine and all that old stuff. Tell you something, man. So when I got out of prison, 2014, my mom, bless her heart, she didn't mean no harm. She like 75.
Mm-hmm.
So when I came on, she had all kind of, underwear and socks for her son.
Yeah.
I go in the room, I come out, I said, I'm gonna do this.
She had the tidy whities.
Man, the girl went brought me some darn
Fruit of the Loom.
Some Playboy. All the men wearing these days.
Oh,
You've been institutionalized.
She gave you some skinny jeans.
I said, you call it what you want to. Well, I'm not wearing them.
I know that's right.
Yeah, you take me down and give me some boxers or something, man. Yeah, you institutionalized. No, you call it what you want to. I'm not gonna get them. Yeah, man. But yeah, man. But yeah, we gotta step our game up, man. We gotta step our game up, man, because it ain't too late, man. But at this rate, man, it's sad when we live in a society and we don't know what to call a brother Jim or Jane. I mean, come on, man. It shouldn't be like that, man.
And that ties into what we talking about, because Genesis 6 was when all those lines started getting blurred. Yes. All of that. I mean, men with animals, men with women with all of that was going on. Mm-hmm. So yeah, these Nephilim, man, they really corrupted humanity, and they didn't corrupt humanity the way, if you study the way they corrupted humanity was by changing our behavior. They changed what we thought was okay, what we thought was cool, changed our lifestyles. And that's how the enemy gains access to us. Instead of, listening to, holy music or things of that nature, we listen to the most ratchet stuff that's doing nothing but just putting evil thoughts and feelings and desires in our mind. And that's what the Bible says about the Nephilim, that, only evil continuously were in their heart and mind all day and night. And so how we get corrupted is by everything we take in with our five senses. So what you watch, what you listen to, who you touch, who you let touch you, all these things is the certain knowledge that was given to us, how to build the pyramids. We have no idea how they built the pyramids. We don't even know how they moved the stones to build the pyramids. And people say, I know how they did it, but they're not able to do it again. Still, if you know how to do it, then do it. But the thing is, they taught us and corrupted us, because life was supposed to be simple. Life was supposed to be simple. Well, see, life still is simple. The problem is when in the beginning it was black, white. What happened was, now what we've done as humans is created gray area. And gray area is what the Nephilim, Genesis chapter 6 did. They created gray area. So what they did was, initially, the constellations in the sky told the Bible story. That was the original Bible. That's why every ancient culture had people who watched the stars. How did they know when Yeshua Jesus was born? It was a constellation in the sky. It was a star. Daniel was a stargazer. All these people were stargazers. They can navigate by the stars. They didn't need calendars and watches, because it was by the sun, the moon, the stars. They knew when a certain moon was coming and when the river was going to flood for them to plant and this and that. But what the enemy did in Genesis 6 was come and change all of that. Now it went from astronomy, which is okay, to astrology, which is not okay. And it's funny how people be like, can't date this person because they're this, they're that, or what's your sign? Oh yeah, y'all are like this. It did turn around to be like, oh, you believe in God and the Bible? It's like you pick somebody by a constellation in the sky. That's not even about God like that. You know what I'm saying? It's just crazy because it's not crazy because that's the enemy's job is to present an alternative to God. It's crazy is when we fall for when we know the one true God, but we still fall for the enemy. We still say, this is better than God, and that's not true ever. We date the wrong person almost on purpose because we have a good godly person here, but because they're not tall enough, or they don't make a certain amount of money, or their butt not big enough, or whatever it is, and we go for this other person we feel needed, but they might not even believe in God or know God or truly living for God, and we'll go with them because they meet our fleshly desires. And then when it go bad, we want to pray to God, man, God, fix our relationship. He's not obligated to fix anything he didn't put together. He can do it, but he's not obligated to. If he ain't put y'all together, he's not obligated to fix it or whatever. Because God and relationship have their ups and downs too. But it's just crazy how the enemy is so wise and know how to trick us and know how to get us to, because that's what he did in the garden. He knew how to, ye shall be as gods. Everything that the serpent offered Adam and Eve, they already had. Death was not there. Sin was not there. None of that was there. So they didn't need to become as gods. And that's another thing that they poison people saying, told them, promise you, man, you could become like gods. Listen, if you think you're a god, then live forever. If you think you're a god, then do things that God, because gods are not bound by a space-time continuum. But guess what? You are. All right. So when I hear, so talk to me when you hear people say we are gods. Well, how does that make you feel? What do you say to them?
Well,
and I'll be right back. Y'all got to check on this live. Go ahead.
Well, I see things, man, from a different perspective, and I have to, I explain to people that when God breathed into man his Ruha spirit, his breath of life, and man became a living soul, that life is part and parcel of God, which is God's DNA. That's what gives life to this flesh. So when he did that, he told man to be fruitful and multiply, cultivate the land, or whatever. He gave man dominion over the earth with him. He gave man a certain co-creative power with him. Yeah. God created us to be the God of this physical plane. To have dominion means to have rulership, meaning to have control. To multiply, meaning to multiply, to create after yourself. So he gave us a limited amount of creation here on this physical plane. Doesn't mean that we're God, but it means that we share a creative power with him in the physics. So when I hear God say that, I do all that breaking down, and explaining the type of things to him,
Yeah, so it's just crazy that people are falling for all these things, hook, line, and sinker. We are gods. You can get power through crystals and the universe, and the ancestors came and talked to me and stuff. If your ancestor came and talked to you, you better get to praying, because that's a familiar spirit. Yeah. That ain't your ancestors ain't listen. Your ancestors are in Sheol. They're not able to come back and talk to you. Don't let the movie Black Panther fool you. So let me tell you something. Black Panther is just another representation of one of them Nephilim. And Thor. That's why I brought my son in, because he's into all that. Because the superheroes, this reason, once again, that's why they're called superheroes. Black Panther. How does Black Panther get his power? He's a dying and resurrecting figure, right? They bury him.
Mhm.
He goes into the spiritual realm, talk to his ancestors, and he comes back and he has his power. You know, it's Osiris, it's Egyptian mysticism. But because we caught up in, you know, being black and this and that, we as believers especially, we miss this and we get caught up in this. And we forget about the real Africa, and we more caught up in a fake Africa. You know, we take more pride in you know the fake Africa than we do the real land. So so my son here, tell me so what do you think about the superheroes and things of that nature?
So, I think that you know how they all have like their own powers and stuff. Like Superman, he comes from a different planet. Yeah, like you said, the Nephilim and stuff. But I wonder how like do they get all that information and stuff like that?
Well, because a lot of the people who create these superhero stories and stuff, they are part of secret societies. They're not Christians, or they just have different belief systems, so they understand these things. I always say Hollywood and they probably understand the Bible better than a lot of Christians, believers do, and they understand these things, and they operate in, you know, those realms and things of nature. So that's how they understand. Because think about Superman, and I'm giving away some of my future teachers. Think about Superman. Like you say, he comes from another planet, right? From another planet to Earth, to save Earth, right? What's his name? Ka-El. El means God, right? Ka means son of. His real name is not Clark Kent. His real name is Ka-El, which means son of God. All right? And then he gets his power by what? The sun. It's sun worship. He's Ra. He's Sol Invictus. He's all of these things. They understand these things and incorporate them into it. You know, so we're still being affected by, you know, the Genesis 6 experience in Nephilim. And of course, as we close this out, the rainbow. We got to take the rainbow back.
Oh, yes.
The rainbow is God's promise to us to not destroy the earth again by water. It doesn't represent anything else but that. We got to stop, as believers, stop letting other people, groups, no matter who they are, what it is, hijack the word of God. People who don't even love God or believe in God want to tell us about our God and our Bible and things. No, none of that, not happening. So, as we get ready to end, anything else, Lady Jennifer?
This was good. I wish we didn't have to end so early.
Yeah.
Because I want to ask you about Thor, you know?
Oh,
'Cause
Thor.
I love Thor. I'm sorry.
Well, I
but
mean,
I'm
Thor is,
yeah.
and we'll
Yeah.
do another one on Thor. We got to get out of here
Yeah.
because that's a whole teaching in itself about Thor and Ragnarok and all of
Yeah,
that
that's
and where
so
all
good.
that comes from. So I'm sure Maury got some things about Thor, Hercules, and
I'm fangirl too, you know. Used
all
to
right.
watch them.
I know, right?
Yeah.
We all grew up on them.
Yeah.
We all grew up on them. But we love y'all. On behalf of our leader, I swear Muhammad, my father's business, Rapology, shout out to John,
Vicky Bailey.
Miss Vicky, and to everybody out there, thank you for supporting us. We love y'all. Y'all have a good night. Stay safe. Stay dry. If you can, stay out the water. All right. Peace.
Peace. We out of here.